Holy fuck! What have you done? Oh no! Oh my fucking Christ!
It was 7 minutes after midnight. The dog was lying in the grass in the middle of the lawn in front of Mrs. Shear's house. Its eyes were closed. It looked as if it was running on its side the way dogs run when they think they are chasing a cat in a dream. But the dog was not running or asleep. The dog was dead.
Get away from my dog!
There was a garden fork sticking out of the dog. The dog was called Wellington. It belonged to Mrs. Shears, who was our friend. She lived on the opposite side of the road, 2 houses to the left.
Get away from my dog!
My name is Christopher John Francis Boone. I live at 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire, and I know all the countries of the world and capital cities and every prime number up to 7,507.
Get away from my dog, for Christ's sake!
After 12.5 minutes, a policeman arrived. He had a big orange leaf stuck to the bottom of his shoe, which was poking out from one side. This is really good, Christopher. It's quite exciting. I like the details. They make it more realistic. He squatted down next to me. He said to me,
"Would you like to tell me what exactly is going on here, young man?"
I do not tell lies. Mother used to say that this was because I was a good person. But it is not because I'm a good person. It is because I can't tell lies.
The dog is dead.
I'd got that far.
I think someone killed the dog.
How old are you?
I'm 15 years, 3 months, and 2 days.
And what precisely are you doing in the garden?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, why were you in the garden in the first place?
I was holding the dog.
Why were you holding the dog?
I like dogs.
Did you kill the dog?
I did not kill the dog.
Okay. You seem to be very upset about this. I'm going to ask you one more time. Terrific. Young man, I'm going to ask noise and to stand up, please, calmly and quietly. Marvelous. Great, just flipping. I'm arresting you for assaulting a police officer. I'd strongly advise you to get into the back of the police car and to stop that monkey business, because if you try that again, I'm seriously going to lose my shit. Is that understood?
I find people confusing. This is for 2 main reasons. The first reason is that people do a lot of talking without using any words. Siobhan says that if you raise one eyebrow, it can mean a lot of different things. It can mean I want to do sex with you. I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't use those words, Christopher.
You did on September 12th last year, at first break.
It can also mean I think that what you just said is very stupid.
Could you empty your pockets onto the desk, please?
Is that in case I have anything in them that I could use to kill myself or escape or attack a policeman with?
Yeah, that's right.
I've got a Swiss Army knife, but only use that for doing odd jobs, not for stabbing things or hurting people.
Great.
A piece of string.
A piece of a wooden puzzle. 3 pellets of rat food for Toby, my pet rat.
£1.47. This consists of a £1 coin, a 20-pence coin, 2 10-pence coin, a 5-pence coin, and a 2-pence coin.
A red paperclip.
A key to the front door of the house.
A Swiss Army knife with 13 attachments, including a wire stripper, a saw, a toothpick, and tweezers.
Oh, could you take off your watch, please?
No.
I'm sorry.
I need my watch to know exactly what time it is.
Just give it here. Ah! All right, lad, you keep it. Jeez. Do you have any family, Christopher?
Yes, I do.
And who would that be?
Father and mother. But mother is dead. And my Uncle Terry, who lives in Sunderland. He is my father's brother. And my grandparents too. But 3 of them are dead, and Grandma Burton lives in a home because she has senile dementia and thinks I'm someone on television.
Right, lovely. Do you know your father's phone number?
I could see the Milky Way as they drove me towards town centre.
Could you?
Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, But it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For a long time, scientists were puzzled by the fact that the sky is dark at night, even though there are billions of stars in the universe.
Is that right?
Christopher, Mr. Boone, could you come this way?
Are you going to interview me and record the interview?
There'll be no need for that. I've spoken to your father, and he said that you didn't mean to hit the policeman. Did you mean to hit the policeman?
Yes.
But you didn't mean to hurt the policeman, right?
No, I didn't mean to hurt the policeman. I just wanted him to stop touching me.
You know that it's wrong to hurt a policeman, do you?
Yes.
Did you kill the dog?
I did not kill the dog.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, I always tell the truth.
Do you know who killed the dog?
No.
Right. I'm gonna have to give you a caution.
Is that going to be on a slip of paper, like a certificate I can keep?
No. A caution means that we're gonna have to go and keep a record of what you did. That you hit a policeman, but that it was an accident.
But it wasn't an accident.
Christopher, please.
If anything like this happens again, we'll have to go and take that out of your record and see that you've done something like this before. And we'll have to take things much more seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The second reason I find people confusing is that people often talk using metaphors. These are examples of metaphors.
I'm seriously going to lose my shit.
He was the apple of her eye.
They had a skeleton in their cupboard.
We had a real pig of a day.
The dog was stone dead.
The word metaphor means carrying something from one place to another, and it is when you describe something by using a word for something that it isn't. This means that the word metaphor is a metaphor. Wow, that's clever.
It's true.
Yes. I think it should be called a lie because a pig is not like a day, and people do not have skeletons in their cupboards. And when I try and make a picture of the phrase in my head, it just confuses me because imagining an apple in somebody's eye has nothing to do with liking someone a whole lot, and it makes you forget what that person was talking about.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't kill Wellington.
I know, but Christopher, you've got to stay out of trouble, okay?
I didn't know I was going to get into trouble. I like Wellington and went to say hello to him. I didn't know that someone had killed him.
Just try and keep your nose out of other people's business.
I'm going to find out who killed Wellington.
Were you listening to what I was just saying?
Yes, I was listening to what you were saying, but when someone gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so that they can be punished.
It's a bloody dog, Christopher! A bloody dog!
I think dogs are important too. I think some dogs are cleverer than some people. Like Nicholas, for example, who comes to school on Thursdays and needs help eating his food, and probably couldn't even fetch a stick.
Leave it.
I wonder if the police will find out who killed Wellington and punish the person.
I said leave it, for God's sake.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher. You could say that. You could very well say that.
Mother died 2 years ago. I came home from school one day and no one answered the door, so I went and found the secret key that we keep under the flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and wiped my feet on the mat. I put the key in the bowl on the table. I took off my coat and hung it on the side of the fridge so it would be ready for school the next day, and I gave 3 pellets of rat food to Toby, who is my pet rat. I made myself a raspberry milkshake and heated it up in the microwave. Then I went upstairs and turned on the bedroom light and played 6 games of Tetris and got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever score. An hour later, Father came home from work.
Christopher, have you seen your mum?
No.
He went downstairs and started making some phone calls. I did not hear what he said. Then he came back and he told me he had to go out for a while and he wasn't sure how long he would be. But if I needed anything, I could call him on his mobile phone. He was away for 2.5 hours. When he came back, I went downstairs.
Christopher, I'm afraid you won't be seeing your mother for a while.
Why not?
She's had to go into hospital.
Can we visit her?
No.
Why can't we?
She needs rest. She needs to be on her own.
Is it a psychiatric hospital?
No, it's an ordinary hospital. She's got a problem. A problem with her heart.
I'll make her a get well card. If I make her a get well card, will you take it in for her tomorrow?
How are you today, Christopher?
I'm very well, thank you.
That's good.
On the bus on the way to school today, we passed 4 red cars in a row.
4?
That means today is a good day.
Great, I'm glad.
I'm going to find out who killed Wellington because a good day is a day for projects and planning things.
Who's Wellington?
Wellington is a dog that used to belong to our neighbour, Mrs. Shears, who was our friend. But someone killed him by putting a garden fork through him, and I found him, and a policeman thought I did it, but I hadn't. And then he tried to touch me, and so I hit him. And then I had to go to the police station.
Gosh.
And I'm going to find out who really did it and make it a project, even though Father told me not to.
Did he?
Yes,
I see.
I don't always do what I'm told.
Why?
Because when someone tells you what to do, it is usually confusing and does not make sense. For example, when someone tells you to be quiet, they don't tell you how long to be quiet for.
No. Why did your father tell you not to try to find out who killed Wellington?
I don't know.
If your father told you not to do something, maybe you shouldn't do it. Well, we're meant to be writing stories today, so why don't you write about what happened to Wellington?
Okay. I will.
Christopher, I'm afraid your mother's died. She's had a heart attack. It wasn't expected.
What kind of heart attack?
I don't know what kind of heart attack. Christopher, now isn't the moment to be asking questions like that.
It was probably an aneurysm.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I'm really sorry.
That evening, I went round to Mrs. Shear's house and knocked on the door and waited for her to answer it.
Christopher, what are you doing here?
I wanted to come and tell you that I didn't kill Wellington, and that I wanted to find out who really did it.
Christopher, I'm not really sure I want to see you right now.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
If you don't leave now, I'm going to call the police. Again!
Reverend Peters, where is heaven?
I'm sorry, Christopher?
In our universe. Whereabouts is it exactly?
It's not in our universe. It's another kind of place altogether.
But there isn't anything outside our universe, Reverend Peters. There isn't another kind of place altogether. Except, maybe, if you were to go through a black hole. But a black hole is what is known as a singularity, which means its gravity is so big that even electromagnetic waves like light can't get out of it. And electromagnetic waves are how we get information about things which are far away. So, if heaven is on the other side of a black hole, that means that dead people would have to be launched into a rocket into outer space to get there. And they aren't, or people would notice.
Well, when I say heaven is outside our universe, it's really just a matter of speaking. I suppose what I meant to say is that they are with God.
But where is God?
Christopher, we should talk about this on another day when we have more time.
The next day was Saturday, and there's not much to do on a Saturday unless Father takes me out somewhere on an outing to the boating lake or to the garden centre. But on this Saturday, England were playing Romania at football, which meant that we weren't going to go on an outing because Father wanted to stay at home and watch the match. So I made a decision. I decided to go out on my own. I do not like strangers, so talking to other people on our street was brave. But if you're going to do detective work, you have to be brave. So I had no choice.
Can I help you?
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who are you?
I'm Christopher Boone. I live at number 36. And I know you. You're Mr. Thompson.
I'm Mr. Thompson's brother.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who the hell is Wellington?
Mrs. Shears' dog. Mrs. Shears lives at number 39.
Someone killed her dog?
With a fork.
Jesus Christ!
A garden fork.
Oh,
Do you know who killed him?
I haven't a bloody clue.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening?
Look, young man, do you really think you should be going around asking questions like this?
Yes, because I'm going to find out who did it, and I'm going to write a book about it.
Well, I was in Colchester on Thursday, so you've got the wrong bloke.
Thank you for helping me with my investigation.
It's Christopher, isn't it?
Yes, do you know who killed Wellington?
No, I don't. No, I'm sorry.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening that might be a clue?
Like what?
Like the sound of strangers, or of people arguing.
Perhaps you should be talking to your father about this, Christopher.
I can't talk to my father about this because he told me to keep my nose out of other people's businesses.
Well, maybe he has a point.
So you don't know anything that might be a clue.
I'm sorry. You be careful, young man.
I will be. Thank you for helping me with my investigation. Do you know who killed Wellington?
Bloody hell! They really are making police younger these days, aren't they?
2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97. Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed?
I heard about it yesterday. Dreadful, dreadful.
Do you know who killed him?
No, I don't.
Well, someone must know who killed him because the person who killed Wellington knows that they've killed Wellington. Unless they were a loony person and didn't know what they were doing. Or unless they'd had amnesia.
You're Christopher, aren't you?
Yes, I live in number 36.
We haven't talked before, have we?
No, I don't usually talk to strangers, but I'm doing detective work.
I see you every day going to school on your school bus. It's very nice of you to come and say hello, even if it's only because you're doing detective work.
Thank you.
I have a grandson your age.
My age is 15 years, 3 months, and 3 days.
Well, almost your age. You don't have a dog, do you?
No,
I bet you'd like a dog, wouldn't you?
I have a rat.
A rat?
He's called Toby.
Oh.
Most people don't like rats because they think they carry diseases like bubonic plague. But that's only because they lived in sewers and stowed away on ships coming from foreign countries that had strange diseases and all those things. But rats are very clean.
Do you want to come in for tea?
I don't go into other people's houses.
Well, maybe I could bring some tea out here. Do you like lemonade?
I only like orangeade.
Luckily, I have some of that as well. And what about Battenberg?
I don't know because I don't know what Battenberg is.
It's a type of cake. It has marzipan icing around the edge.
Is it a long cake with a square cross-section that can be equally divided into alternately colored squares?
Yes, I suppose you can describe it like that.
I think I like the pink squares, but not the yellow squares because I don't like yellow. And I don't know what marzipan is, so I don't know whether I'd like that.
I'm afraid marzipan is yellow. Perhaps I should bring out some cookies instead? Do you like cookies?
Yes, some sorts of cookies.
I'll get a selection.
She moved very slowly because she was an old lady, and she was in the house for more than 6 minutes. And I started to get nervous because I did not know her well enough to know if she was telling the truth about getting orangeade and Battenberg cake. And I thought she might be ringing the police, and then I'd get into much more serious trouble because of the caution. So I walked away.
Why would you kill a dog?
I wouldn't.
I think you would only kill a dog if A, you hated the dog, B, you were a lunatic, or C, if you wanted to make Mrs. Shears sad. But I don't know anyone who hated Wellington, so if it was A, it was probably a stranger. And I don't know any lunatics either, so if it was B, it was also probably a stranger.
Right.
But most murders are committed by someone who's known to the victim. In fact, you're most likely to be murdered by a member of your own family on Christmas Day.
Is that a fact?
Yes, actually, it is a fact. This means that Wellington was most likely to have been murdered by someone known to him. And the only person I know who doesn't like Mrs. Shears is Mr. Shears, who divorced Mrs. Shears and left to live somewhere else, and knew Wellington very well indeed. This means that Mr. Shears is my prime suspect.
Christopher.
I'm going to find out more about Mr. Shears.
Mr. Boone, nobody in the school has ever taken an A-level examination before.
He can be the first then.
I don't know if we have the facilities in the school to allow him to do that.
Then get the facilities.
I can't treat Christopher differently to any other student.
Why not?
Because then everybody would want to be treated differently.
So?
It would set a precedent. Besides, Christopher can always take his A-levels later, when he's 18, which is, after all, when all other students tend to take their A-levels.
Christopher has been getting a crap enough deal already. Don't you think? That you're shitting on him from a good heart as well. Jesus, this is the one thing he's really good at.
maybe we should talk about this somewhere else. Maybe on our own.
Are there things which you're too embarrassed to say to me in
No,
front of Christopher?
no, it's not
Say
that.
them now, then.
If Christopher were to take the examination, he'd have to have a supervisor, a member of staff, to look over him on his own in a separate room.
I'll pay for it then. They can do it after school. Here, 50 quid. Is that enough?
Mr. Boone,
I'm not going to take no for an answer. Where have you been?
I've been out.
I've just got a phone call from Mrs. Shears. What the hell were you doing poking around her garden?
I was doing detective work, trying to figure out who killed Wellington.
Jesus Christ, Christopher, how many times do I have to tell you? I told you to keep your nose out of other people's business.
I think Mr. Shears probably killed Wellington.
I will not have that man's name mentioned in my house!
Why not?
That man is evil.
Does that mean he might have killed Wellington?
Jesus wept. Okay, Christopher. I'm going to say this for the last and final time. Right, you look at me when I'm talking to you. For God's sake, look at me! You are not to go asking Mrs. Shears who killed that bloody dog. You are not to go asking anyone who killed that bloody dog. You're not to go trespassing on other people's gardens. And you are to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game right now. I'm going to make you promise me, Christopher. And you know what it means when I make you promise.
I think I would make a very good astronaut.
Yes, mate, you probably would.
To be a good astronaut, you have to be intelligent. And I'm intelligent. You also have to be good at understanding how machines work, and I'm good at understanding how machines work.
You also have to be someone who would like to be on their own in a tiny spacecraft, thousands and thousands of miles away from the surface of the Earth, and not panic or get claustrophobia or homesick or insane. And I really like little spaces, so long as there's no one else in them with me.
I noticed.
Sometimes, when I want to be on my own, I go into the laundry room and slide in beside the boiler and pull the door closed behind me and sit there and think for hours. And it makes me feel very calm.
So I'd have to be an astronaut on my own and have my own part of the spacecraft that no one else could come into. Also, there are no brown things or yellow things on a spacecraft, so that would be okay too. And I would have to talk to people from Mission Control, but that would be through a radio link-up and a TV monitor. So it wouldn't be like real people who are strangers, but it'd be like playing a computer game.
Which you like.
Also, I wouldn't get homesick at all, because I'd be surrounded by things which I like, which are machines and computers and outer space. And I could look out the tiny window of the spacecraft and know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands
Christopher,
What?
could you just give it a bit of a break, mate, please?
And know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands of miles, which is what I sometimes pretend at night in the summer, when I go and lie on the lawn and look up at the sky and put my hands around the sides of my face so that I can't see the fence and the chimney and the clothing line, and I could pretend I'm in space. And all I could see would be the stars. And the stars are the places where all the molecules that life is made of were constructed billions of years ago. For example, all the iron in your blood which stops you being anemic was made in a star. And I'd like it if I could take Toby with me, which might be allowed because sometimes they do take animals into space for experiments. So if I could find a good experiment they could do on a rat that didn't hurt the rat, I could make them let me take him. But even if they didn't, I would still go, because it would be a dream come true.
Father said.
I see. That's a pity.
So, the book is finished.
Well, if your father told you to stop, then he probably has a good reason for it, and I think you should stop. You can still be very proud because what you've written so far, well, it's great.
But it's not a proper book.
Why not?
It doesn't have a proper ending. I never figured out who killed Wellington, so the murderer is still at large.
Not all murders are solved, and not all murderers are caught.
Father said to never mention Mr. Shears' name in our house again, and that he was an evil man, and maybe that meant he was the one who killed Wellington.
I think you should do what your father tells you to do, Christopher.
happened to you the other day? I came back out and you'd gone. I had to eat all the biscuits myself. I was looking forward to a little chat.
I don't do chatting. I don't like it.
No, I don't suppose you do. Do you like computers?
Yes, I like computers. I have a computer in my room.
I know. I can see you sitting at your computer in your bedroom sometimes when I look across the street.
I also like maths and looking after Toby. And I like outer space and being on my own.
I bet you're very good at maths, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to take my maths A-level next month and I'm going to get an A-star.
Really? A-level maths?
Yes, and I'm the first person at my school to take it because it's a special school and the rest of the students at my school are stupid. Except I'm not meant to call them that, even though that is what they are.
Well, I am very impressed, and I hope you do get an A-star.
I will.
Another thing I know about you is that your favorite color is not yellow.
No. And it's not brown either. Do you know Mr. Shears?
No, not really. I mean, I knew him well enough to say hello to him, but I didn't really know anything about him. I believe he worked at the National Westminster Bank in town.
Father said that he was an evil man. Do you know why he might have said that?
Perhaps we shouldn't talk about these things, Christopher.
Why not?
Because maybe your father is right and you shouldn't go around asking questions about this.
Why?
Because he is obviously going to find it quite upsetting.
Why would he find it quite upsetting?
I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much.
Did Mr. Shears kill Mother?
Kill her?
Yes, did he give us stress that she died of heart attack?
Of course he didn't kill your mother.
But did he hurt her so that she had to go into hospital?
Did she have to go into hospital?
Yes, and it wasn't very serious at first, but then she had a heart attack in hospital.
Oh my goodness.
And she died.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry, Christopher. I never realized.
Then why did you say, I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much?
Oh, dear, dear, dear. Look, perhaps we should take a little walk in the park together. This really isn't the best place to talk about this sort of thing. I'm going to say something to you, and you have to promise me you're not going to tell your father I told you this.
Why not?
Christopher, please, just trust me.
I promise.
Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
I know.
No, I'm not sure that you do. I mean, they were very good friends. Very, very good friends.
Do you mean that they were doing sex?
Yes, Christopher, that is what I mean.
Is that why Mr. Shears left Mrs. Shears? Because he was doing sex with someone else while he was still married to Mrs. Shears?
Yes, I expect so. Oh, I'm so sorry, Christopher. I didn't mean to say anything that was going to upset you.
I think I should go now.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I can't be on my own with you because you are a stranger.
I'm not a stranger, Christopher. I'm a friend.
Have you told your father about this?
No.
Are you going to tell your father about this?
No.
Did it make you sad to find out?
Find what out?
Did it make you sad to find out that your mother and Mr. Shears had an affair?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, I always tell the truth. It didn't make me feel sad because Mother is dead, and so I'd be feeling sad about something that isn't real and doesn't exist, and that would be stupid.
What was your mother like? Do you remember much about her?
I remember the 20th of July, 2008. I was 9 years old. It was a Sunday. We were on holiday in Cornwall. We were at a beach in a place called Pulpero. Mother was wearing a pair of shorts made out of denim and a stripy blue swimming costume. And she was smoking menthol cigarettes, which were mint-flavored. She wasn't swimming. She was sunbathing on a red and purple towel which had stripes. And she was reading a book by Georgette Heyer called The Masqueraders. And then she finished sunbathing and she got into the water and she said, "Bloody Nora, it's cold." And she told me I should come and swim too, but I didn't like swimming because I don't like taking my clothes off. And so she told me to just roll up my trousers and walk into the water a little way. And so I did. And Mother said,
Christopher, look, it's lovely!
and she jumped backwards into the water, and I thought a shark had eaten her. And so I screamed. And then she stood up out of the water and came over to where I was standing and held out her right hand and spread out her fingers like a fan.
Christopher, love, I need you to stop screaming. There are no sharks in Cornwall.
When we were inside the park, Mrs. Alexander stopped walking and said, I'm going to say something to you, and you must promise me not to tell your father I told you this. Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
And other times, she used to say,
I like to think that if I hadn't married your father, I'd be living in the south of France with a man named Jean, and he'd be like, I don't know, a local handyman or something, helping people, building fences, gardening. And we'd have a French bulldog and a veranda with figs growing over it. And at the end of our garden, there'd be a huge field of sunflowers. And on the hill on the distance, there'd be a little town. And in the evening, we'd sit outside and drink red wine and smoke French cigarettes and just watch the sun go down.
What is this?
it's a book I'm writing.
Is this true? Did you speak to Mrs. Alexander?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, Christopher, how stupid are you? What did I tell you?
Not to mention Mr. Shears' name in our house. Not to ask Mrs. Shears or anybody about who killed that bloody dog. Not to go trespassing into other people's gardens, and to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game. Except I haven't done any of those things. I just asked Mrs. Alexander about Mr. Shears because I was doing chatting.
Don't give me that bollocks. You knew exactly what you were bloody doing. I've read the book, remember? What else did I say?
I don't know.
Come on, memory man. Not to go sticking your nose into other people's business. And what do? You go around sticking your nose into other people's business. You go around digging up the past and sharing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry you bump into. What am I going to do with you, Christopher? What the fuck am I going to do with you?
I was just chatting with Mrs. Alexander. I wasn't doing investigating.
I asked you to do one thing for me, Christopher. One thing.
I didn't want to talk to Mrs. Alexander. It was Mrs. Alexander!
I need a drink. Christopher, look, I'm sorry I hit you. I didn't mean to. I love you very much, Christopher. Don't you ever forget that. I worry about you because I don't want to see you getting into trouble. Because I don't want to see you get hurt.
Where's my book?
Christopher, do you understand that I love you?
Is it in the dustbin at the front of the house?
The next day, when I came home from school, Father was still at work. So I went outside and looked inside the dustbin, but my book wasn't there. I wondered if Father had put it into his van and driven it to the dump and put it into one of the big bins there. But I'd hoped that was not true because then I'd never see it again. One other possibility was that Father had hidden the book somewhere inside the house. So I decided to do some detecting to see if I could find it. I started by looking in the kitchen. Then I detected in the laundry room. Then I detected in the dining room. Then I detected in the living room where I found the missing wheel to my Airfix Messerschmitt BF109 G6 model under the sofa. Then I went upstairs, but I did not do any detecting in my own room because I reasoned that Father would not hide something from me in my own room unless he was being very clever and doing what is called a double bluff like in a real murder mystery novel. so I decided to look in my own room only if I could not find the book anywhere else. I looked inside the bathroom, but the only place to look was in the medicine cabinet, and my book wasn't there either, which meant the only room left to detect in was Father's bedroom. I started by looking under the bed. There were 5 shoes and a comb with lots of hair in it, and a monkey wrench and a chocolate chip cookie, and a magazine called Men Only, and a pair of underpants from TJ Maxx with a little bit of pee left in them, and a Scooby-Doo tie and a wooden spoon, but not my book. Then I looked in the drawers on either side of the dressing table, but these only contained aspirin and nail clippers and batteries and dental floss and tissues and a spare false tooth and a tampon, but my book wasn't there either. I looked inside the wardrobe. In the bottom of the wardrobe, there was a large plastic toolbox which was full of tools for DIY, which means doing it yourself. But I could see these without opening the toolbox because it was made of a transparent grey plastic. There was another box underneath the toolbox. The other box was an old cardboard box called a shirt box because people used to buy shirts in them. And when I opened the shirt box, I saw that my book was inside it. Then I heard Father's van pulling up outside the house, and I knew I had to think fast and be clever. I heard Father shutting the door of the van, and that was when I saw the envelope. It was an envelope addressed to me, and it was lying in my shirt box with some other envelopes underneath my book. I picked it up. It had never been opened. It said,
Christopher Boone, 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire.
Then I noticed that there were a lot of envelopes, and they were all addressed to me, and this was interesting and confusing. Then I noticed how the words Christopher and Swindon were written. They were written like this.
Christopher, Swindon.
I only know 3 people who do little circles instead of dots over the letter I. One of them is Siobhan. One of them is Mr. Loxley, who used to work at the school. And one of them was Mother.
Christopher?
Hello.
So what have you been up to, young man?
Today we did life skills with Siobhan, which was using money in public transport. I had tomato soup for lunch and 3 apples. And I did maths in the evening, and then we went for a walk in the garden with Mrs. Peters to collect leaves for making collages.
Excellent. Excellent. What do you fancy for chow tonight?
Baked beans and broccoli.
I think that can be very easily arranged. I'm just going to put some shelves up in the living room if that's all right with you. I'm afraid I'll make a bit of a ruckus, so if you want to watch TV, we're going to have to shift it upstairs, all right?
I'll go and be on my own in my room.
Good man.
So I went up to my bedroom, and when I was in the room, I shut the door behind me and took out the envelope. When I opened the envelope, there was a letter inside, and this was what was written in the letter.
451C, Chapter Road, Williston, London. NW2 5NG 0208-887-8907. Dear Christopher, I was looking through some old photographs last night, which made me sad. But then I found one of you playing with a train set we'd watched you a few Christmases ago, and that made me happy because it was one of the really good times we had together. You played with it all day and all night, refused to go to bed. And we told you about train timetables. And you made a train timetable, and you made the train run on time. And there was a little wooden station. And we told you about how all the people who wanted to go on the train went to the station and bought a ticket. Oh, you played with it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I liked remembering that a lot. You haven't written to me yet, so I know that you are still probably angry with me. I'm sorry, Christopher. But I still love you, and it would mean a whole lot to me if you were able to write me back sometime soon. I think about you all the time. Loads and loads of love. Your Mum.
I was very confused. Mother had never written me a letter before, and Mother had never lived in London. Then I looked at the front of the envelope, and there was a postmark, and there was a date on the postmark, the 16th of October, 2013, which meant that this letter was posted 18 months after Mother had died. When I started writing this book, I had only one mystery to solve. Now I have 2. I decided to not think about it any more that night because I did not have enough information, and I could easily leap to the wrong conclusions.
You're soaking.
Yes.
Give me your coat, I'll hang it up. So how was school today?
It was good, thank you. Joseph Fleming took off his trousers and went to the toilet all over the changing room and started to eat it. But Mr. Davis stopped him.
Good old Mr. Davis, eh?
Joseph eats everything.
Does he?
Yes. Once he ate the little block of blue disinfectant that hang inside the toilets. And once he ate a £50 note from inside his mother's wallet. And he eats strings and rubber bands and paints and plastic forks. And he also bangs his chin and screams a lot.
I know how he feels, Christopher. I've got to go out.
Why?
I've just got a phone call. There's a lady in his cellar's flooded.
Is it an emergency?
Yes, mate.
It is raining very heavily.
It is.
The rain looks like white spots.
Christopher, if I go out, will you be okay?
Yes, because no one's around, because everyone's staying inside.
Good, good. Good man.
I like looking at the rain.
Terrific.
It makes me think how all the water in the world is connected.
Does it?
Like, this water, this rain, for example, is actually evaporated from maybe the Gulf of Mexico maybe, or Baffin Bay, and is now falling in front of our house.
I'll have my mobile with me,
Yes,
so you can call me if there's a problem.
yes,
Behave yourself, Christopher, yeah?
yeah.
I went up to his bedroom, and I opened up the wardrobe and lifted the toolbox off the top of the shirt box and opened up the shirt box. I counted out the letters. There were 43 of them, and they were all addressed to me in the same handwriting. I picked one up, and I opened it. Inside was this letter.
451C, Chapter Road, London. NW2 5NG 0208 887 8907. Dear Christopher, I told you I was going to explain when I had the time to do it properly. Now I have lots of time, so I'm sitting here on the sofa with this letter and the radio on, and I'm going to try to explain. I was not a very good mother, Christopher. Maybe if I was different, and maybe if you were different. I'm not like your father. Your father is much a more patient person than I am. He just gets on with things. And when things upset him, he doesn't let it show. And I'm not like that no matter how hard I try. And do you remember that one time that we went shopping in town together? And we had to go into Bento's because we had to get a Christmas present for Grandma. And it was really loud and really crowded, and you crouched down in the middle of everything and put your hands over your ears, and I got cross and tried to pick you up, and then you started screaming and flailing your arms, and you knocked a box of mixers off the shelf, and there were bits of broken bowl and string and boxes all over the floor, and everyone was staring, and I saw that you had wet yourself. And I just got so cross. And we couldn't do anything. We just had to sit there and wait until you stopped screaming. Well, that night, I just cried and cried and cried. And at first, your father was really nice about it. He said these things just happen and made you supper and put you to bed. And then I said I couldn't handle it anymore. And then he said I was being stupid and needed to pull myself together, and I hit him. Which was wrong. I know. But I was just so upset. We had a lot of arguments like that. And in the end, we stopped talking to each other very much because we knew that was all it was ever going to end up into. And I was really lonely.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger. And I know that you might not understand, so I wanted to explain so that you knew.
We had a lot in common, and then we realized we were in love with one
And
another.
I said I couldn't leave you, and you were sad about that, but he said that he understood.
And you started to shout, and I got cross, and I threw the food across the room, which I know I
And
shouldn't
the
have
cutting board
done.
hit my foot, and it broke my toes.
And after that, your father and I got into a huge argument.
And I couldn't walk properly for a month. And your father had to look after you. Do you remember?
I remember looking at the two of you and seeing you together and thinking how you were really different with him. Much calmer.
And it made me feel like you didn't need me anymore.
I think then I realized that you and your father would probably just be better off if I wasn't living in the house anymore.
And Roger asked me if I wanted to come live with him.
And it broke my heart. But it was better off for all of us if I just went.
And so I said yes.
And I meant to say goodbye.
Your father, when I called, he was really angry. He said
I couldn't talk to you.
And I didn't know what to do.
He said I was being selfish and that I was to never set foot inside the house again.
And so I haven't.
I wonder if you can understand any of this, Christopher. I know it will be difficult for you.
I thought what I was doing was going to be the best for all of us.
Christopher, I never meant to hurt you.
I used to have dreams that everything would get better. Do you remember when you wanted to be an astronaut? Well, I had dreams that you were an astronaut, and you were on television, and I got to say, that's my son! I wonder what it is that you want to do now. Are you still doing maths? So I hope you are. Lots of love. Your mother.
Christopher? Christopher, what the hell are you... What are you doing? These are... Shit. Christ, it was an accident. I didn't know what to say. I was in such a mess. I said she was in hospital because I didn't know how to explain. It was just so complicated, and once I said that I couldn't just change it, it got out of control. Jesus. Christopher, you got sick all over your... Right then. Let's get your clothes off and get you into bed, okay? I'm gonna have to touch you, but it's going to be alright. Look, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I want you to know that you can trust me. Life is difficult, you know. I mean, it's bloody hard telling the truth all the time. But I want you to know that I am trying. And I want you to know that I'm going to tell you the truth from now on. About everything. Because if you don't, well then... Well, later on it hurts even more. So, I killed Wellington. Christopher, just let me explain. When your mum left, Eileen, she was very good to me. She helped me through a very difficult time, and I'm not sure I would have made it without her. You know, she was around here most days, popping over to see if we were okay. If we needed anything, well, I thought... Christopher, I'm trying to keep this simple. I thought we were friends. Right, well, I guess I thought wrong. We argued, Christopher. And she said some things which I'm not going to say to you because they're not nice. But they did hurt. But I think she cared more for that bloody dog than she did for either of us. And maybe that's not so stupid looking back. Maybe it's easier living on your own, looking after some stupid mutt than living with actual other human beings. I mean, shit, Betty, we're not exactly low maintenance, are we? Anyway, after this particularly nasty little blow, she chucked me out the house. And you know how that bloody dog was like. Nice as pie one moment, roll over, tickle its stomach, sink its teeth into your leg the next. Right, well, we're yelling in the garden, and she slams the door in my face. And the bug is waiting for me. And I know, maybe if I just given it a kick, it probably would have backed off, but shit, Christopher, when the red mist comes down, Christ, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, we're not exactly all that different, me and you. And it was everything I've been bottling up for 2 years, just... Christopher, I promise you, I never meant for it to turn out like this. Look, I'm sorry. All right? Let's leave it for tonight, okay? I'm gonna go downstairs and you get some rest. And we'll talk about it more in the morning. It's going to be all right. You can trust me.
Two, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 40, 96, 40, 90.
Father had murdered Wellington. That meant he could murder me. I had to get out of the house. I made a decision. I did this by thinking of all the things that I could do and deciding whether they were the right decision or not.
Stay home.
I decided I could not stay at home anymore.
Christopher, please.
No! I can't stay with you anymore because it is dangerous. And I can't stay with you because you can't look after me when school's closed.
I could try.
No! Because you are a teacher,
Yes.
not a friend or a member of my family.
You can go live with your Uncle Terry.
You live in Sunderland. I don't know how to get to Sunderland.
Get a train. Get a train from Swindon.
Also, you smoke cigarettes. And you stroke my hair. You're not a friend either.
I think I'm a friend.
No. And I can't stay overnight at your house or use your toilet because you've used it. And you're a stranger.
I'm not really a stranger, Christopher.
Yes.
451C Chapter Road, London. NW2 5NG. 451C Chapter Road, London. NW2 5NG. 451C Chapter Road, London. NW2 5NG. 451C Chapter Road.
London. NW2 5NG.
Christopher, I want to ask you something. Miss Gascoigne wondered if we wanted to put on some kind of play this year. She asked me to ask everybody if we wanted to do a performance for the school. Everybody could join in and play a part in it.
I think everybody could join in and play a part in it.
I was wondering if you wanted to make a play out of your book.
No.
I think it could be really good fun, Christopher.
I think it could be really good fun.
No, because it's a book and it's for me. Not for everybody, just for me.
I know that, but I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing what would happen if we took your book and started acting bits out of it.
No, because I don't like acting. Because it is pretending something is real when it is not really real at all. And that is like a kind of lie.
But people like stories. Some people find things which are kind of true inside of things which are made up. You like your Sherlock Holmes stories, but you know Sherlock Holmes isn't a real person, don't you? I would help you if you were worried about that.
No.
I think I'd rather like to take the part as a policeman.
You're too old to be a policeman.
Christopher? Christopher!
Christopher, what on earth has happened to you?
Can you look after Toby for me?
Oh,
He eats special pellets that you could buy from a pet shop, and he needs fresh water every day too.
why do you need someone to look after Toby, Christopher?
I'm going to live with Mother.
I thought you told me your mother was dead.
I thought she was dead, but she's actually alive, and Father lied to me. And also, he killed Wellington.
Is your mother here?
No, Mother is in London.
So, you're going to London on your own?
I think I'm going to do that, yes.
Where is your father at the moment, Christopher?
I don't know.
Well, perhaps we should try and give him a ring and see if we can get in touch with him. I'm sure he's very worried, and I'm sure there's been a dreadful misunderstanding.
Three, 5, 5, 8.
3, 5, 5, 8.
3, 5, 5, 8.
3, 5, 5, 8.
3, 5, 5, 8.
3, 5, 5, 8. Where can I buy a map?
A map of where?
I don't know.
Well, where do you want to get to?
I'm going to the train station.
You don't need a map to get to the station. You can see it from here.
No, I can't.
There, that building. Says signal point on the top. On the other end, there's a British Rail sign. The station's at the bottom of that.
Do you mean the stripy building with the horizontal windows that you could see poking out from over those houses?
That's the one.
How do I get to that building?
Okay, we're done here.
I knew that the train station was somewhere near, and when something is nearby, you can find it by moving in a spiral, walking clockwise and taking every right turn until you come across a street you've already walked on, then taking the next left, and then every right, and so on. And that's how I found the train station.
Customers seeking access to the car park, please use assistant phone opposite right to the ticket box.
CCTV in operation.
Great Western.
Your 50 pence will keep a premature baby alive for 1.8
Transforming
seconds.
travel. Automatic fire door. Please delicious. Reserved parking. Only £1.
Monday through Friday
Chocolate
from
deluxe.
7 a.m. to 11 3, 7 p.m.
Dogs must be carried.
08. Open as usual, this way.
777. Special lunch office.
76.
No
Superb
smoking.
coffee
On the
access.
right. Cash dispensers. Dogs
Take
take
extra
Superb
care with
coffee
children.
air conditioning.
Are you alright, young man?
You're too old.
Are you alright, young man?
No!
You're looking a little worse for wear. The lady at the cafe shop said that when she tried talking to you, you were in a complete trance. What's your name?
Christopher Boone,
Where do you live?
36 Randolph Street.
What are you doing here?
I needed some place to sit down and be quiet and think.
Okay, let's keep it simple. What are you doing at the railway station?
I'm going to see Mother.
Mother?
Yes, Mother.
When's your train?
I don't know. Mother lives in London. I don't know when there's a train to London.
So you don't live with Mother.
No, but I'm going to.
So where does your mother live?
In London!
Yes, but where in London?
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG.
What is that?
It's Toby, my pet rat.
A pet rat?
Yes, he's very clean and he hasn't got bubonic plague.
Well, that's very reassuring.
Yes.
Have you got a ticket?
No.
So how precisely are you going to get to London then?
I have a card.
Is this your card?
No, it's Father's.
Father's?
Yes, Father's.
Right.
He told me the number. It's 3558.
Why don't you and I take a stroll to the cash machine?
You mustn't touch me.
Why would I want to touch you?
I don't know.
Well, neither do I.
Because I got a caution for hitting a policeman. But I didn't mean to hurt him. But if I do it again, it'll be a lot worse because of the caution.
Please insert your card.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Please enter personal identification number.
You lead the way.
Where?
Back by the ticket office.
Please select amount. £10, £20, £50, £100.
How much does a ticket to the train cost?
About 20 quid.
Please wait. Your transaction is being processed.
Is that pounds?
For Christ alive. Yeah, it's 20 pounds.
Please take your card and wait for the cash.
Where do I buy a ticket to the train from?
In there.
I want to go to London.
If you may,
I want to go to London.
a single return.
What does singular return mean?
Do you want to go there? Do you want to come back?
I want to stay there when I get there.
All right, and how long are you going for?
Until I go to university.
All right, single then. I'll be £17.
When's the train to London?
It's in 5 minutes at platform 1.
Where's platform 1?
You'll see the signs. It's under the underpass and through the stairs.
Underpass means tunnel, Christopher. In your head, imagine a big red line. It starts at your feet and it goes through the tunnel. And walk along it and count out the rhythm in your head because that helps, doesn't it? Like when you're doing music or when you're doing drumming. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left,
Right, left, right, left, right. Is this the train to London?
Christopher! Caught you just in time. There's a father at the police station here. Look! Okay. Let's not get overexcited here. I'm gonna take you back to the police station so you and me and your dad can sit down and have a chat about who's going where.
Have you arrested father?
Arrested him? For what?
He killed a dog. With the garden fork. The dog was called Wellington.
Well, we can talk about that too. Right now, young man, I think I got enough adventure for one day! Now listen here, you little monkey! What the? Oh, shitty fuck.
Why are you swearing? Have we started? Has the train started?
Don't move. Rob? Yeah, it's Nigel. I'm stuck here on the bloody train. Look, don't even. The train stops at Didcot Parkway. So if you can meet someone to meet me with a car. Jeez. Tell this old man we're gone, but it's gonna take a while, okay? Great. Let's have us to see. Park yourself. You're a bloody handful you are. Jeez.
I see everything. Most other people are lazy. They don't look at everything. They do what is called glancing, which is the same word for bumping off something and continuing on in almost the same direction. The information in their head is very simple. For example, if they are sitting on a train, looking out the window onto the countryside, it might be 1.
There's some cows out the window.
2.
It is sunny with a few clouds.
3.
I see some flowers in the field.
4.
There's a village in the distance!
And then they would stop noticing anything, because they'd be thinking about something else. Like,
I wonder if Julie's giving birth yet.
or...
Man, I could really go for a bag of cheese and Doritos.
But I'm sitting on the train, looking out the window onto the countryside. I notice everything. Like, 1, there is 19 cows in the field. 15 of which are black and white and 4 of which are brown and white. 2, there are 3 different visible nimbostratus clouds. 3, there's a village in the distance, which has 32 visible houses. There's a plastic bag in the hedge and a squashed Coca-Cola can with a snail on it. There are 5 different types of grass. The cows are... There's a wind blowing. I can see 3 to 4. There's cows, Coca-Cola, snails. The cows are facing.
Christ, you're wetting yourself. For God's sakes, go to the bloody toilet, will you?
But we're on a train.
They do have toilets on trains, you know.
Where's the toilet on the train?
Through those doors down the hallway. But we're keeping a close eye on you, you understand?
No.
Just go to the bloody toilet!
Two, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 50, 53, 59, 61, 67, 73, 71, 73, 79,
Christopher!
80, 83, 89,
Bloody hell.
97, 101, 103, 107, 109, 113, 127, 1.
Good God, you scared me! Could I just
27,
get my
130.
bag? I think there's someone on the platform looking for you.
I know. 1.
Well, it's your funeral.
39, 149, 153, 157.
You're touching my bag.
Yes. 170. 177, 180.
Come look at this.
83.
They've got a train now.
Well, we have both been dreaming.
197, 190.
We should kidnap him.
2.
He could be like,
223, 2,
Oh,
7,
come on,
29,
shift it, you stupid idiot.
30, 30,
I'm coming.
9,
I'm coming,
40,
all right.
1, 2.
Well, wait for me in the car park
57,
then.
59, 2, 63 to 69 to 70. 3 to 71 to 77 to 77 to 81. I waited for 9 more minutes, but no one else came past, and it was really quiet, and I hadn't moved again. So I realized that the train had stopped, and I knew that the last stop on the train was London. So I got off the train.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right,
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right,
Sweet
left,
pastries.
Heathrow, airport
left,
check-in
Bagel factory.
here.
right, left,
Yo!
right,
Buggy to stay at
left,
Manchester
right,
United.
left,
Clinic.
right,
Freshly
Cold
baked
drinks.
cookies and
The
muffins.
Mad Bishop.
right,
London's
left, right,
Fresh full
Left.
price.
right,
Pop
left,
75
right,
albums. Way out, closed.
23 Sainsbury, IQ 3900, C Green, BIC, Scandinavia and Germany. Horn, IC. TVIC, Warwick Obstructing Avenue. The doors can be dangerous. Kilburn Park, Queen's Park, Kensal Green, Williston Junction.
You look lost. Whoa, 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 whoa!
left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Is this London?
Indeed it is.
How do I get to 451C Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG?
Where's that?
It's 451C Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. And it can sometimes be written as 451C Chapter Road, Williston, London, NW2 5NG.
Take the tube to Williston Junction or Williston Green. Gotta be around there somewhere.
What's a tube?
Are you for real? You see the big staircase over there with the escalators? You see the sign? Says underground. Take the Bakerloo line to Williston Junction or the Jubilee to Williston Green. Are you okay?
Christopher, don't do this.
Get away from me.
Christopher, you won't be able to.
I've been doing really well.
Where's your Swiss Army knife gone? Have you lost it?
It's in my pocket.
And where's your red line gone? It's disappeared, hasn't it? How the hell are you going to find Jubilee Line? You don't even know what an escalator is, do you?
It's a moving staircase. You step onto it. It carries you down. It's funny, look.
Stop laughing.
It's like something out of science fiction.
I'm worried about you.
You're lying. You killed Wellington.
Where are you going?
To watch the people. It's easy, look. You go up to the black machine. You look at where you want to go. You put your money in.
You haven't got any money.
I have. I stole your card.
You little shit.
You go up to the grey gate. You put your ticket in the slot.
Come home.
Swindon's not my home anymore. My home is 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG.
Stand behind the yellow line.
I know.
The train will be very noisy.
I know.
It'll really scare you.
I know.
Try not to let it. Watch what the people do. Watch how they get on and off. Count the trains. Figure it out. Get the rhythm right. Train coming, train stopped. Doors open, train going. Silence. Train coming, train stopped. Doors open, train going. Silence. Train coming, train stopped.
Doors open, train going, silence. Train coming, train stopped. Doors open, train going, silence. Train coming, train stopped. Doors. Toby? Toby, where are you? Toby, what are you doing down there? Toby, get back up here this instant, I'm warning you. Right, I'm coming down there, Toby, and when I catch you, I'm going to be very cross.
Oi, what are you doing?
My rat is on here.
Oh, get out of there, for goodness sake.
Toby, it's filthy down here. You'll get so dirty.
Oh my days, what is he
What
doing?
does it look like he's doing?
Call somebody, get somebody, don't just stand there.
Please, get back up here.
I can't get back up there. My rat is on here.
What?
Oh, mate, please, you're gonna get yourself killed.
You're gonna have to go down there and get him.
Me? What the hell has it got to do with me?
He's just a kid, you can't just let him get it.
Oh, I know he's a kid. I can see he's a kid by bloody well looking at him. Mate, get your arse up here.
Toby, stop being so difficult.
I don't believe this is happening. This is ridiculous, mate. Get up here. Oh, shit. What the fuck do you think you're playing at?
I was finding Toby, my pet rat.
Bloody Nora.
Is he okay?
Oh, him. Rinks a bundle. Jesus Christ, a pet rat. Oh, shit, my train. Fuck.
Are you okay?
Don't touch me.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to help?
Stand further away. I've got a Swiss Army knife and it has a saw blade attachment and it could cut someone's finger off.
Okay, Botty. I'm gonna take that as a no then.
Doors open.
Penalty £20 theft.
Three,
If you fail to read
Is this train going to Williston Junction?
cottages in Scandinavia
Is this
and
train
Germany.
going to Williston Junction?
TVIC. Warwick
train
Avenue
going to
Doors,
Williston
Canada
Junction?
Vale. Dangerous. Kilburn Park.
Is this train
Queen's
going
Park.
to-
Kensal Green. Williston Junction.
How do I get to 451C Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG?
A to Z map of London, 595. I'm not a walking encyclopedia.
Is this the A to Z?
No, it's a bloody Chihuahua.
Is this the A to Z?
Yes, it's the A to Z.
Can I buy it?
595, but you're giving me the money first. I'm not having you thieving.
Left, right, 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 left.
I don't care whether you thought it was funny or not.
Judy, look, I'm sorry,
You
all right?
should have thought about that before you made me look like a complete idiot out there.
You went in, so I waited for you.
Christopher.
What?
Christopher, Jesus Christ.
What the bloody hell's going on?
Oh. Christopher, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot.
Does this mean that Ed's here?
Where's your father, Christopher?
I think he's in Swindon.
Oh, thank God for that.
How did you get here?
I took the train.
Oh, all on your own? Christopher, you're soaking. Roger, don't just stand there.
What? Are we gonna go inside? Are we actually gonna go and sit out here all night?
I'm going to stay with you because Father killed Wellington with a garden fork.
Chopping Jack Christ!
Roger, please, just let's go inside and get you all dried off.
Come on then, soldier. You'll catch your death out here.
Ha ha ha. You can follow Roger.
He's hungry. Have you got any food I can give him? And some water?
We can find something. Are you all right, Christopher?
I'm tired.
Oh, I know, love. I could get you a blanket and help you get set up.
Don't. I've got a sleeping bag.
Oh, well, I could get you a clean shirt and help you get changed. Could you grab that? Thank you. Roger, when you're done, could you pass me a t-shirt? Okay, thank you. Oh, let me help with that. Come here. There we are. You're very brave.
Yes.
You never wrote to me.
I know.
Christopher. I wrote you all of those letters and I kept thinking something dreadful had happened or you'd moved away and I'd never see you again.
Father said you were dead.
What?
He said you had a problem with your heart, and then you had to go into hospital, and you had a heart attack and died.
Oh.
Why are you doing that?
I'm sorry, Christopher.
What for?
Bastard. Oh, that bastard! Christopher, will you let me hold your hand? Just for once, I won't hold it hard. It'll be just for me.
I don't like people holding my hand.
Right. I know. Sorry, I just... Right. Right.
I need to speak to him.
Right, but he's been through enough today already.
I know, but I still need to speak to him. Christopher Boone, can you open the door, please?
Come on, Christopher!
Christopher, love, it's all right, sweetheart. Just open the door, will you?
Is he going to take me away?
No, he isn't.
Are you going to let him take me away?
No, I would never.
Your father says you ran away from home, is that true?
Yes.
Is this your mother?
Yes.
And why did you run away from home?
Because Father killed Wellington, who was a dog, and that meant he could kill me.
So I've been told. Now, do you want to go back to Swindon to live with your father, or do you want to stay here?
I want to stay here.
And how do you feel?
I want to stay
hang
here.
on, I'm asking your mother.
He told Christopher I was dead.
Okay, well, let's not get into an argument about who said what. I just need to know
Of course he can stay!
Okay, well, that pretty much settles it as far as I'm concerned.
Are you going to take me back
Stop.
to Swindon?
Oh, no. If your husband shows up and causes any more trouble, just give us a ring. Otherwise, you're going to have to sort this out amongst yourselves.
I'm talking to her whether you like it or not.
Roger, don't just...
What? I'm not gonna be spoken to like this in my own home.
I'll talk to you how I done like.
You have no right to be here.
He's my son too, in case you've forgotten.
But what did you think you were playing at, saying all of those awful things to him?
You were the one that bloody left.
So you just decided to wipe me out of his life altogether?
All right, let's just calm down now, shall we?
Wasn't that what you wanted?
I wrote to him every week!
What the fuck use is
Whoa,
writing to him?
whoa!
I cooked his meals. I cleaned his clothes. I looked after him every weekend. I looked after him when he was ill. I took him to the doctor. I worried myself sick every time he wandered off somewhere at night. I went to school every single time he got into a fight. And you? What, you wrote him some fucking letters?
So you just decided to tell him his mother was dead?
No, it's not the time for that.
I'm going to see him. And if you try to stop me...
Christopher, love, it's going to be all right. I won't let him hurt you. I just...
Christopher? Christopher, I promise you I would never do anything like that again. I'm really sorry. But the letters... Shit, Christopher, please!
Mr. Boone!
What are you doing here? Did you call him?
Mr. Boone, come on, mate.
Don't you make me. This is my son!
No, I'll get this all sorted out. Just come on.
Just, Ed, you need to leave. He's frightened.
I'll be back. Christopher, I'll be back. I promise you. I promise you, lad.
I didn't know. You can just go back to sleep now, Christopher. It's going to be all right. Everything is going to be perfectly fine in the morning, all right? Good night.
All right, he can stay for a few days.
He can stay as long as he needs to stay, Roger.
This flat is hardly big enough for 2 people, let alone 3.
He can understand you. You do know that, right?
What's he going to do?
Stop yelling. It's too early for this.
There's no school for him to go to. We both have jobs.
Roger, that's enough.
It's bloody ridiculous.
You can stay as long as you need to stay, all right?
It was Mother who gave me the milkshake. It was Mother who gave me the milkshake, not you. And you need to shout more loudly at him. Like you're really angry, not just being nice.
All right. Roger, that's enough! You can stay as long as you want to stay, all right?
I have to go back to Swindon.
But you've only just got here.
I have to go back because I'm supposed to sit my maths A-level.
You're taking your maths A-level?
Yes, I'm taking it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week.
That's really good, Christopher.
Yeah.
But I can't see Father. So I have to go back to Swindon with you.
Oh, well, I'm not sure whether that's going to be possible.
But I have to go back.
Do you think we could talk about this just some other time?
Okay, but I have to go to Swindon.
Well, Christopher.
What time is it?
It's 7 minutes past 2 in the morning.
Can't sleep.
It's because you're scared of Mr. Shears. You're being silly.
There's nobody out. You can hear the traffic.
What cars are there?
A Fiesta, a Peugeot, Ford Granada, a Mini Cooper.
And what colours are they?
I can't tell. Everything's orange and black and mixtures of orange and black.
Look at what people have in their front gardens.
I see. Is that an elf?
It's a gnome, and a teddy bear, and a little pond, look.
And an oven. I like looking up at the sky.
Me too.
When you look up at the sky, you know you are looking up at stars, which are hundreds of thousands of light years away from us. And some of them, the light has taken so long to get to us that they've already died or have exploded and collapsed into red dwarfs. And it's nice to think, when there are difficult things in your life, that they are what is called negligible, which means that they are so small that you don't have to take them into account when you're calculating something. I can't see the stars here.
No,
It's because of all the light pollution in London. Light from the street lights and car headlights and all the lights from the buildings, and gets in the way of light from the stars.
I have to go.
Christopher!
I have to.
Siobhan?
Christopher!
Siobhan, where are you?
Christopher! Jesus, I've been looking for you! You can't just... Christopher, I love you, but I don't know what I'll do if... Christopher, you have to promise me you won't leave the flat again on your own. Christopher, do you understand me?
Yes.
You just can't trust people in London. So, hey, would you like an ice lolly?
Yes, I would, please.
Would you like a strawberry one?
Yes, I would, please, because that's red.
One, please. Right.
What's it called here?
It's called Hampstead Heath. I love it because you can see all over London. Oh, wrong colour.
Where are the planes going to?
They're going to Heathrow, I think. Listen, Christopher, see, I rang your principal, Miss Cascone, and I told her you take your A-levels next year.
No!
Christopher!
I've got your radio, the one you wanted. Some library. Oh, and these books too. This one is about nuclear warfare. This one is about the origins of the universe, and this one's 100 number puzzles.
They're for children.
Well, it's nice to know that my contribution is appreciated.
I made you a chart because you've got to eat. See, this is Slim Fast, and it's strawberry flavored.
Slim Fast?
Yeah. See, if you drink 200 milliliters, you get a bronze star on your chart.
A bronze star?
Yes. And if you drink 400 milliliters, you get a silver star. Roger. If you drink... Oh, that's fun. See, if you drink 600 milliliters, you get a gold star.
A gold star? How original.
Roger, can you just... The least you can do is play along. Jesus.
Look at you. Do you ever even think about anyone for 1 second except yourself, eh? For 1 second. You must be real proud of yourself now, eh?
Get out! Get out! Christopher, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. You know what? I promise nothing like this is ever going to happen again, all right?
What time is it?
It's around 4 o'clock in the morning.
What are you doing?
I'm just packing a few things.
Where's Mr. Shears?
He's asleep. I think, listen, Christopher, would you mind just packing up your things and grabbing Toby and going downstairs and getting into the car?
Into Mr. Shears' car?
Yes.
Are we stealing his car?
No, Christopher, we are just borrowing it. All right?
Where are we going?
We are going home.
Do you mean home in Swindon?
Yes.
Are we going so I can take my maths A-level?
What?
I'm supposed to be taking my maths A-level tomorrow.
No, we're going because if we stay here any longer, somebody is going to get seriously injured, and I don't necessarily mean you. I need you to be quiet.
How long do you need me to be quiet for?
Half an hour, Christopher. I just need you to stay quiet for half an hour.
What the fuck are you doing in here?
This is my house too, in case you forgot.
Is your fancy man here?
Does
as
he
well?
look
Because
like
this is
he's here? And
ridiculous.
it's different.
You know, this
It's
is
not-
hypocrisy.
Don't
You sneak into my house.
It's different.
You left.
I didn't.
You let me.
You hit him. He was drunk and upset about some bullshit, and he hit him.
Okay. Okay, right. I'll figure something out.
Christopher, love, you can stop panicking. He's gone now.
Where's he gone to?
He's gone to stay the night at his friend's house.
Is he going to get arrested and go to prison?
What for?
For killing Wellington!
Oh, well, he would only get arrested if Mrs. Shears decides to press charges.
What are those?
Oh, well, it's when you tell the police to arrest somebody for doing little crimes, all right?
Is killing Wellington a little crime?
Yes, love, it is. Listen, in the next few weeks, we are going to be finding a place of our own to live in.
Can I still do my maths A level?
You're not listening to me, are you, Christopher?
I am listening
No,
to you.
you're not, because if you were listening, you would know that I already said you would be taking them next year.
But I'm here now, so I can take it.
Well, at the time we were in London. See, this isn't going to solve anything.
Well, look who it is.
Where are we going?
What a nerve. Strutting round here as though nothing ever happened.
You can just ignore her, Christopher.
What is Mrs. Shears doing?
Nothing.
So he's finally dumped you too, has he?
Where are we going?
You had it coming. You had it coming. Don't try and act like you didn't, because you fucking did.
Where are we going?
We are going to the school.
So you're Christopher's mother.
Yes. You're...
I'm Siobhan. It's nice to meet you.
Right.
Hi, Christopher.
Hello.
Are you okay?
I'm tired.
He's a little upset.
Because of the A level, you said?
Yeah, well, he won't eat. He won't sleep.
Right. Well, I rang Miss Gascone after you called.
Right.
And she said she still has your A-level papers in the envelope in her desk.
I actually still have the envelope in my desk.
So, I can still take my maths A level.
I think so. We're going to ring the Reverend Peters and see if he can still come in this afternoon to be your supervisor. And Miss Gascone is going to call the examination board and tell them you're taking the exam after all. I thought I'd tell you now so you could think about it.
So I could think about what?
Is this what you want to do, Christopher? If it's not, nobody would be angry with you. And it wouldn't be wrong or illegal or stupid. It would just be what you want, and that's fine.
I want to do it.
Okay. How tired are you?
Very.
How is your brain when you think about maths?
I don't think it works very well.
What is the logarithmic formula for the approximate number of values not greater than x?
I can't think.
So, this is jolly exciting. Eh, Christopher? Well, I'm excited as well. Now, the exam's gonna last for 2 hours, Christopher, okay? First thing to do is pop your name in the front. All right. Are you ready to roll? Turn over the paper, please, Christopher. And begin.
One, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, 512, 729, 729, 1000, 1331.
Is everything all right, Christopher?
I can't read the question.
What do you mean you can't read the question?
I can't read the question.
Can you see the question?
I can see the question, but I can't read the question because when I look at the words, they all seem mixed up and jumbled in the wrong way to me.
Right.
What does the question say?
Christopher, I'm afraid I can't help you like that. I'm not allowed to.
Christopher, stop groaning. Get your breath. Count the cubes of the cardinal numbers again.
One, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, 512, 729, 1000, 1331.
Now, have another go.
Prove that a triangle with sides that can be written as n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n, where n is greater than 1, is right-angled.
You don't have to tell us.
What?
You don't have to tell us how you solved it.
But it's my favorite question.
Yes, but it's not very interesting.
I think it is.
Look, why don't you do it after the curtain call? When you've finished, you can do your bow, and then the people who want to can go home, and then if anybody wants to stay and hear how you solved the maths question, then they can stay and you can tell it.
Okay.
Christopher, don't scream. Okay, I'm not going to hurt you. I wanted to ask you how the exam went.
You can tell him, Christopher. Please.
I don't know if I got all the questions right, because I was really tired and I hadn't eaten anything, so I couldn't think properly.
Thank you.
What for?
Just thank you. I'm very proud of you, Christopher. I'm sure you did really well.
How is your flat?
It's not really a flat. It's a room. It's very small. The corridor's painted brown. And other people use the toilet, so Mother has to clean it before I can use it. And sometimes other people are using it, so I do wet myself. The room smells like socks and pine air freshener. And another bad thing is that Toby died because he was 2 years, 7 months, which is very old for a rat. I don't like waiting for my Maths A-level result.
Yeah.
Mother doesn't get back from work until 5:30, so I have to go to Father's between 3:39 and 5:30. And because I'm not allowed to be on my own, Mother says I didn't have a choice. So I push my bed up against the door so that no one can try to come in. And sometimes Father tries to talk to me through the door. I don't answer him. And sometimes he sits outside my door quietly for a long time. Can I come and live with you, so that I've a room for all my things and I don't have to share a toilet with strangers?
No, Christopher, you can't.
Why not? Is it because I'm noisy sometimes and I'm difficult to control?
No, it's because I'm not your mother.
No.
You do understand that, don't you? That's very important.
I don't know.
Christopher, can I have a talk?
No, you can't!
Christopher, please, it's going to be
I don't
all
want
right.
to talk to Father.
I know.
I'll do your deal, okay? Right, 5 minutes, that's all. I don't know about you, but things can't go on like this. It just hurts too much. You have to learn to trust me. And I don't care how long it takes. If it's a minute one day, and 2 the next, and 3 the next, and it takes years, I don't care. Because this is important. Right? This is more important than anything else. Let's call it a project. Okay, a project we have to do together. And I have to show you that you can trust me. And it will be difficult at first because, well, it's a difficult project, but it will get better, I promise you. And I've got a present for you. To show you that I really mean what I say, and to say sorry because, well, you'll see. Christopher, I would never do anything to hurt you. He's 2 months old.
Has he got a name?
No. You can decide what to call him.
Dusty. He's called Dusty.
You, very sadly can't take him to come live with us, but he will stay here with your father.
Yes.
And, well, we have to go. Right, but when you see him tomorrow, you can play with him lots then.
Christopher,
Yes?
here.
What's this?
It's your results.
Right.
Well, you have to open it and read it.
Right.
Well, what does it say?
I got an A star.
Oh, that's terrific, Christopher. Aren't you happy?
Yes, it's the best result.
I know it is. How is your dog?
He's very well, thank you. I had to stay at Father's last week because Mother got flu, and he slept on my bed so that he could bark in case anyone tries to come into my room at night.
And how are you getting on with your father?
He planted a vegetable patch in his garden last week. I helped and Dusty watched, and we planted carrots and peas and spinach, and I'm going to pick them when they're ready. He brought me a book called Further Maths for A-Level, and he asked Miss Gascone if I could take it. She said okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to pass it. I get an A star. And in 2 years, I'm going to take A-level physics, and I'm going to get an A star. And then I'm going to go to university in another town, and I'll take Dusty and my computer and my books with me. And I'll have my own flat, which has a garden and a proper toilet. And I'm going to get my first class honors degree, and I'll become a scientist. I can do these things.
I hope so.
I can, because I went to London on my own. I solved the mystery of who killed Wellington. I found my mother. I was brave.
You were.
And I wrote a book.
I know. I read it. We turned it into a play.
Does that mean I can do anything, do you think? Does that mean I can do anything, Siobhan? Does that mean I can do anything? Thank you very much for clapping. And thank you very much for staying behind to listen to how I solved the problem on my maths A-level. Siobhan said it wouldn't be very interesting, but I said it was. So, she also didn't tell me what to use, so I've decided to use every computer and machine in the building, including 2 LED light strips, 2 Lyceon spotlights, which are manned by Alex and Grace, we love them, and 156 lighting cues, 20 effects, 12 presets, and 1 very pretty magic sheet. I don't know what that means. And so I had 2 hours to answer 19 questions, but I spent the first 38 minutes doing moaning and groaning, so I only had 4 minutes to answer this question. Prove that a triangle with sides that can be written as n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n, well, n is greater than 1, is right-angled. Here is what I wrote. Start the clock, yes! And so, if a triangle is right-angled, that means it has a 90-degree angle in it, and will therefore follow Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras said that a squared plus b squared equals c squared! So, we also know that if you draw because of that, we know that if you draw squares outside the 3 sides of a right-angled triangle, that the area of the 2 smaller squares will equal the area of the largest square. This will only be true if the triangle is right-angled. And we know that n squared plus 1 is the hypotenuse, because it's the greatest term and the hypotenuse is the longest side of a triangle. And we also know that to find the area of a square, it's length times width. So we know that the area of this square is 2n times 2n, which equals 4n squared. And the area of this square is n squared minus 1 times n squared minus 1, which equals n to the 4th minus 2n squared plus 1. And if you add those two together, it equals n to the 4th plus 2n squared plus 1. Now we need to find the area of the square on the hypotenuse, which is n squared plus 1 times n squared plus 1, which equals n to the 4th plus 2n squared plus 1, which is the same term! Yes! So, see, look, it's the same term. So, this proves that my squares fit together to prove Pythagoras' theorem correct, proving that the triangle is right-angled. So, that is how I got an A star. And almost there.